Pasha Pyro, Y97. Thank you for tuning the replay. So, you know, we've always talked about emergency preparedness, etc. here on Y97. And you get reminded about why sometimes, and when you are prepared, you kind of feel like you're reminded why you do things. So, do you think you should take a gas mask with you when you go to another city or you travel somewhere? Do you think you should have your bug out bag with you, or do you just take your clothes and stuff like that? So, Pasha, what are you talking about? It was a great experience. I actually left Charlotte, Monday night, and rode up to Delaware to take care of a thing or two, and then be on my way to Myrtle Beach. So then, as you can see here, it's cool. It's actually funny because I always be doing these little pictures and stuff you never know what you're going to use them for. Put them with a quote on your social media, stuff like that, right? So, it's 5:12 here I am going through the tunnel, Baltimore. And if we look, let me see here. Here I am, 5:45. If you can take a look at the clock there. Let me put it on here for you. Hold on, give me a second. Because some things you just can't make out. If you look down there in the corner, it's me, Gray, enter into Delaware, 5:45 a.m. Right? Sun just coming up, whole nine. So why are you bringing this up, Posh? Because in Delaware, at shortly before 6 a.m. Matter of fact, let me just show you all.
On roads across an ugly day on roads across northern Delaware. Just before 6 a.m. we had a crash occur between a tractor trailer and another truck pulling a trailer that was full of a hazardous material.
Now, the hazardous material was reported to be organic peroxide, which the tags on the trailer match the code or whatever it should be. So 5.2. Let's continue. One thing for sure, if you ever wanted to, anybody know anything about Delaware know how 95 runs through it at its most narrowest point. It's like 15 miles across, right? And in Wilmington, that's the city it runs through, or town, whatever you want to call it. And then all of the traffic, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. Like, think about all the traffic on the highway on a normal day, and all of that traffic had to be routed off both north and southbound, right? North and southbound, you can see there. This is after the fact. So right before they decided to burn it off, or right about the time they was starting to burn it off, I was like, I'm out. Like, not even knowing they were gonna do that, or that was even happening, or at this moment I didn't know what even the cause was. But you gotta go with your gut sometimes, people. And because of all this traffic, like, you couldn't go nowhere. Like, just to go down a block, whatever you consider a block is, that should have took you 10, 15 seconds, literally took 20 minutes, right? And that wasn't even in town at that point. You were in the suburb, the surrounding areas, you know. So it just didn't feel right, not knowing. Before I even knew what was going on, none of that felt right. I was like, Delaware don't be having traffic like this, right? Because I got there before any. This is on the left side here is the northbound lane. What you see me in now is the southbound lane. I'm leaving, right? So when I came up, none of this build up or pile up was here yet. You see what I'm saying? All right, so, but as I did what I had to do and was finished that and did my errand while I was up there, this was the effect of the northbound side. So on the other side of the crash, this was exactly what it looked like on the southbound side. You couldn't go either way down the highway. So all that traffic was diverted through the city of Wilmington and northern Delaware. So let's take a look. Let's get back to it. So if you ever this just brought the whole city to a standstill. Like everybody just stopped what you're doing. The cool part was it didn't affect me at all. I was able to go exactly where I needed to go. It was just the right distance away from all the chaos. That it wasn't too much of a headache. I did get caught in a little bit of traffic on the surface streets, but it and then I was able to just be like, get out, because I was gonna actually stay for a while, or a day or two, but at that point I was like, nah, you can't even go around the corner. This is crazy. And after driving 6, 7, 8 hours, something like that, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of traffic. Might as well just go ahead to the beach and call it and get this relaxation in. So, let's get back to the story, because I want to tie all this together with emergency preparedness and, why you might want to be fully equipped, which may be different than what you think your preparedness level is right now. You may not be thinking things are necessary, but or you may not be thinking beyond what you already know. So, cool. Let's get to this story. I'm gonna show you how this all falls into place.
That resulted in a full pulling a trailer. 6 a.m. we had a day on roads across northern Delaware. Just before 6 a.m. we had a crash occur between a tractor trailer and another truck pulling a trailer that was full of a hazardous material that resulted in a full closure of the interstate system in both directions due to the volatility of that compound that was in the one vehicle. DENREC and the fire team determined that the best decision was to actually burn the material off.
Remember all this that he's saying. Look at this clouds of smoke from them burning off the quote unquote chemical spill on a highway that this section of the highway it's near populated areas, and Wilmington, the whole town or city itself is really very close to this location. And like I said, the whole state is only at its narrowest point now it's got a little wider points elsewhere, but at its narrowest point where 95 goes through, because that would make most sense to cut through at a short spot, keep the cost down, building the highway. But it's only 15 miles across there. And look at this clouds of smoke. All right. And you can see the standstill traffic on the bridge behind them if you look.
On site, as it was not deemed to be a good idea to actually move it or attempt to offload it due to the volatility of the material. We are definitely going to have pavement damage. We've already mobilized crews that as soon as the wreckage has been taken out of the way, that we can actually get out there, repair the road surface and the guardrail if necessary. Our goal is to open as many lanes as safely possible while that work is taking place. So southbound 95 will be reopened this afternoon. Northbound lanes will be reopening once we've been out there and determined that the road is safe to do so, and we'll keep the area closed that we need to repair.
So that was pretty much I guess probably what that scene looked like from. You saw they were reporting this or published as 7:31. They say so. Um, roughly 2 hours after I entered the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel, it literally brought the whole northern Delaware to a crawl. People that was supposed to be to work, quote unquote, at 9 o'clock weren't able to make it to work till like 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You see? All right, so let's go to some things here. So this says let me get it so y'all can see it. Because I don't know how many of y'all actually think like this type of stuff could happen any day. And I know you're like, Pasha, was just an accident and they did some whatever. But one, this is a fairly accessible chemical, or whatever you want to call it, right? And you got to know what's around you at all times. Like, how far are you away from chemical stockpiles? All kinds of stuff, right? But let's just look at this on a regular day in a regular town in or any town, where you have roads going through it. This is the potential you're dealing with. And today could have been an accident, or that day could have been an accident, but what if it was done on purpose? What if it was an act of like war or an attack, right? This could have actually been I'm not saying that it was, but I'm saying look at it like this. This could have been an attack, and you wouldn't even know it, and the state and everybody's responding to do what they're supposed to do to clean it up. But how would it have affected you if it was something on a larger scale or more long term? You saw the size of that trailer was very small. So what if an actual stockpile goes up? What if an actual chemical plant around the corner from you? I know Wilmington, Delaware. I know Delaware we got DuPont, AstraZeneca, like all kinds of places. You know what I mean? What do you got in your neck of the woods? What's the Army got in your area? All right. So here's what I wanted to look into. So the orders extend. Okay, so here, DNREC issues shelter-in-place directive for Newcastle County after I-95, right, crash. So order extends 1/2 mile from scene near Airport Road. Now, 1/2 mile isn't that far. You know what I mean? You saw the smoke in the video. How much was that covering? How far did the wind blow it? Which direction did the wind blow it? You see what I mean? So when I got the news, because everybody's now talking about it when I'm up there, it was like, time to go. It's time to go. One, you already know you can't move around. Everything's on lockdown. And two, you don't know at that moment what you're breathing in. All right, so look, the Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control issued a shelter-in-place directive this afternoon for a 1/2 mile radius around the crash scene of this morning's accident on Interstate 95 involving a trailer load of organic peroxide, which is considered a hazardous material, and the order for the crash scene applied to the area around the intersection of I-95 and Airport Road, right? So you can feel free to jump here and read that. Now, organic peroxide, right? What are the dangers of that? Well, here's what we're looking at. The main hazard related to organic peroxides are their fire and explosion hazards. Organic peroxides may also be toxic or corrosive depending on the material, route of exposure, inhalation, eye or skin contact, or swallowing. So, and the dose or amount of exposure, they could harm the body. So, you know, before I quit, before I left my job, you know, you get familiar with OSHA and all this stuff. So, inhalation, right, is one thing. Now, you saw the smoke clouds bellowing out all over probably northern Wilmington, Delaware. Then you got eye or skin contact. So, okay, you can easily think about breathing in the air for anywhere around there wasn't safe. Possibly, but how safe? How unsafe is the question, right? Now, just think about if it's in the air and it gets in your eyes or your skin contact, you're still getting some dosage. How much? Who knows, right? Now, if it's also in the air and you're breathing it, chances are you're going to swallow because it's in your throat, and now you're also swallowing it too. So you're getting inhalation, eye, skin, and swallow, right? So the main hazard, right, related to organic peroxides. Let me get this on the screen for you. So, the main hazards related to organic peroxides are their fire and explosion, right? We already went over that. So, what I wanted to cover here, all right, so next part is this.